So, I made a game on Roblox and I've been working on this game for a while now, and it has been very challenging, yet a very rewarding experience. And in today's video, I will discuss some of those challenges that I've faced and hopefully give you some insight on what it's like to make a game as a solo developer. There's going to be a lot to discuss, especially what we're going to be doing moving forward with this game, as well as what we're going to be doing moving forward with this channel, because I know I haven't posted in a while, but hopefully I can clear up some things because this has been a big project and has been taking a lot of my time. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the game. The game is called The Last Stand. It's an arcade style shooter where the player fights through endless waves of zombies, with each wave getting harder than the last, um, pushing you to survive as long as possible. And as you progress, you'll be able to unlock new map areas, new weapons, and new perks that will not only make your character stronger, but also evolve your playstyle as the difficulty ramps up. So yeah, I wanted to make a very simple game concept that was not only fast-paced with a unique progression, but also something that's very chill and be able to play the game depending on you. This is something I personally enjoy. Sometimes I just want to play a game and just chill out, turn off my brain, and then there's other days where I just want to go in and push the game to its absolute limits and see how far I can go. Um, I love when games have that freedom where it doesn't feel like an obligation to play, and I can just play how I want, depending on how I feel. And hopefully, I succeeded in creating something of that nature. Um, so yeah, so let's talk about some of the challenges. Because it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, and we're gonna talk about what's it like being a developer solo, and especially, this is my first game. What's it like making your first game? Um, but before we jump into that, first, I want to thank everybody that's been supporting the channel. Even though I haven't posted in a while, I see all your comments and messages. Still try to be active and help everybody, um, especially on my tutorials. Just certain things just pull you away in life, and this was a big one. And yeah, let's jump back in and talk about the challenges. Making a game is hard. That that's it. It's extremely hard. There's this game was it's a simple concept, and that has been done many times. And there have been many roadblocks, many ups and downs. And when you do it solo, it's just stacking the deck even more. There's so much to learn, so much to learn. Not only the language, but you also have to learn the ins and outs of the engine, and also map design, soundscapes, color combinations, algorithms, player data, animations, special effects, game loops. The list goes on, and that's not even counting outside of making the game, like marketing, target audiences, and price points. And I'm not an expert, I'm still learning just like you. I don't have a degree um, in any of this, and realistically, I'm just some guy who loves it for the love of the game. Someone with a dream, and that dream is to make video games. And hopefully, my dream will come true. I mean, I guess in a sense it did, because I set out what I wanted to do, and that was to make a video game. Um, this game took a year and a half. It wasn't even the first iteration, I might add. There was a lot of um, like testing out different things to learn, the language and the engine, and yeah, and this learning all that is not even like not even the hardest, I would say, for me at least. The hardest thing is uh, is the roller coaster of emotions. One day you're zooming through, everything seems to work, and then the next day you spend 16 hours on a single bug. It's just because you forgot the lowercase an I, and that's very frustrating. um, or you'll spend 2 weeks on a really like bad bug, and you just can't figure it out. And when you're at on the cusp of just scrapping the entire thing, you just one day it just clicks, and you're like, okay, let me just try this one thing, one last try. and it works. And rinse and repeat. And but when you're really deep into the project, it is it is the feelings of failure. Even up to this point, it is the feelings of failure that is the hardest. It's the what if I fail? What if I put in all this effort and time into making this and no one likes it and it fails? And that's where the love and the dream of it comes in. Life's too short on what ifs or one days. And this is gonna kind of devolve into some sort of motivation thing, but and it doesn't even have to be game development. If you have a dream or an idea to do something, do it. Don't let anybody stop you, even if it's yourself. If you fail, then fail. At least you can walk away saying I did it, or choose I'm going to do it again. That's the big one. If this game fails, will I do it again? And like I said, I love this, and I'm gonna for the rest of my life I'm gonna keep making video games. It's what I want to do. It's what calls to me. So don't don't let don't let the overwhelmingness of it all stop you. You know, just give it your best shot. So what's next? Well, the game needs more polishing, and being a solo developer, that is something that not a lot of people talk about. Um, on like testing the testing aspect of it, where trying to find bugs, and you have to play different. You have to. It's hard to test everybody's play style, because how I play is gonna be different from how you play and how the next person plays, and yeah, to test how everybody is gonna play is near impossible, and realistically, that can only be done when the game is released. So the plan is we're gonna get it as polished and where I'm happy and as ready as possible to be released. And then once it's released, I'll have a better idea of what bugs or balancing I need to do. And then on top of that, I have more plans and ideas that I want to put in after release. So the game is always feeling fresh. So that's the plan for the game moving forward. Let's talk about the plan for the channel moving forward. And this will tie into the game as well, where I want to use the game as a driver. A driver for, you know, teaching you guys, where, say you see something in the game you want to know about, you know, put it in the comments, and because I read every comment. And if it's something that's, relatively digestible, we could do a tutorial on it, or if, enough people want to see it, I'll do it. Also, being that there's a good foundation of this game, say you see something in the game, you're like, oh, this would be better, or it'd be very cool if we put this in. We could do a tutorial on that too, and put stuff into the game. And because I think that'll be very, very fun. Because once the game is released, it's not my game anymore. It's everybody's game. So I want to make it where everyone feels involved. And if you want to be part of that journey and follow along, consider subscribing. And write a comment on what you want to see, or whatever. And yeah, before I ramble on, that is the plans for the channel and the game. I'm gonna try to be more active, being that we're at the end of this project. I could be a little bit more active, and get ready for this release. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.